JBN, we keep you informed. Female and teen boy among four to face court for a homemade gun found in St. Mary. 4 persons, including a female and a teen male, are to face the court for an illegal gun with ammunition that was reportedly found in their possession during an operation in Hamilton Mountain District, St. Mary yesterday. They are 32-year-old Tristan Byfield, a landscaper, 35-year-old bartender Tamara Byfield of Pondside District, Hamilton Mountain, St. Mary, and 22-year-old Damar Gale, a chef of Pondside District in Bushy Park, St. Catherine. The identity of the teen male cannot be revealed for legal reasons. Reports on the Port Mary police are that about 5 a.m., lawmen were in the area when a premises that was occupied by the 4 persons was searched. Upon close examination of the premises, a homemade gun with a 12-gauge cartridge was found in their possession. They were subsequently arrested and charged. The court date will be announced later. M16 assault rifle seized on Mountain View Avenue in Kingston 3. The police say a loaded M16 assault rifle was seized yesterday along Mountain View Avenue, Kingston 3, sections of which were under a curfew. The police's Corporate Communications Unit (CCU) said the Colt M16 assault rifle with a magazine containing 30 5.56 rounds of ammunition was seized during a search of a premises about 4 a.m. by a police team on patrol. The CCU didn't say whether the illegal weapon was seized in the area under curfew. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. JDF probes possible armory protocol breach after murder-suicide. The Jamaica Defense Force has launched a probe into reports that the gun used in a murder-suicide involving one of its members on the weekend was taken from its Upper Camp base armory. JDF Corporal Dorian McKenzie, who worked at the armory, reportedly shot and killed his girlfriend, Uneasy, then turned the weapon on himself at their 4 West Greater Portmore St. Catherine home on Sunday morning. Sources close to the JDF said McKenzie, 33, was at work hours before the killing. Contacted this morning, JDF Civil Military Corporation Officer Major Basil Jarrett confirmed that a probe was underway, promising further details after a briefing today. The JDF will be seeking to determine whether there was a breach of protocol in respect of access to the armory. A Glock pistol, similar to the one used by the Army, was recovered from the crime scene. The police also reportedly removed 2 empty magazines and numerous spent shells. Taxi driver mowed down in St. Catherine. A taxi operator was reportedly mowed down by a motor car along the Dumbley Holden Main Road in St. Catherine on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Christopher Hewitt, 35, of Naisbury Villa, Spanish Town. Reports are that about 12:54 a.m. Hewitt was attempting to cross the busy thoroughfare when he was mowed down by a grey 2010 Toyota Axia motor vehicle. The motor vehicle was being driven by a broker clerk, who is now being questioned by the police. UA robberies raise alarm. Strained relations among the 3 security agencies tasked with securing students and faculty at the University of the West Indies UEMONA have been cited as a key reason why robberies and break-ins at the tertiary institution are still a major worry. The theory is based on recent break-ins that have left victims questioning the value for money spent on the university's security apparatus, the latest of which occurred on Saturday night when a burglar entered the house occupied by well-known women's rights activist Nadine Spence on the Mary C. Cole Hall. It was the second time in just under 2 months that Spence, who is Student Services and Development Manager for C. Cole Hall, has suffered badly at the hands of thieves at her home on campus. And last November, there was a break-in and the thief went upstairs, where he relieved me of my 2 laptops, 2 cellular phones, a camera, and the money from my next room, Spence explained. This time they used a small patio table around the back to climb onto the grill and up onto the roof to gain access to the top windows which are not grilled. It could have been worse, but luckily he was not armed, she said. Spence believes that enough is not being done to address the long-standing security concerns on campus, even though close to $30 million per month is being spent on securing the 650-acre premises. She said that the relationship among the campus police, the Mona Police, and the contracted security company needs to be revisited, as indications are that trust among the three is at its lowest ebb. This is nothing new. None of them really trust the other, but it cannot be at the expense of persons here, Spence said. Another theory offered for the frequency of break-ins is that the UA's open campus policy makes it easy for anyone to access the compound under the guise of being a student. Meanwhile, Norman Haywood, Chief of Security at the UA Mona, is urging students in particular not to leave valuables on their car seats. A recent advice sent to students detailed how persons can protect their interest, including warnings to avoid certain areas at night. But concerns abound that not enough CCTV cameras are installed on campus. The university has gone through and has improved the lighting significantly on the campus since November last year, and the incidence of break-ins has been considerably reduced, said Haywood. Further, he said that the campus administration is working on acquiring more CCTV cameras. We had a meeting last week, Thursday, where we looked at the whole security surveillance, so probably in the first quarter, you will see the rollout of additional cameras. He said that some accounts of campus are based on sensationalism. For Spence, it is an ordeal he should rather do without experiencing again. Twice is enough. I am now trying to get the university to move me, as I am no longer comfortable. I don't feel safe here. Anytime I hear anything, I panic, and it's not good for me, she said. I feel like I'm a sitting duck. I feel like anytime they want to come, they'll come in, and that's an awful thought. U.S. Embassy says no extradition has been sought for government members. The United States Embassy in Jamaica, in a tweet on Sunday, clarified that the United States government has no extradition request for any high-ranking member or members of the Jamaica Labour Party JLP government. Social media has been charged with speculation over the last few days that the U.S. had requested the extradition of ministers, including Darrell Vaz, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, with responsibility for land, environment, and climate change. The rumors continue to swirl on social media, despite Vaz in a radio interview denying that he was the subject of any U.S. extradition request. However, the U.S. Embassy, in an unprecedented move, put out the tweet in an effort to put the matter to rest. The tweet said, contrary to social media rumors, there is no extradition request for any minister of Jamaican government from the United States government. The Jamaican government has been very cooperative with the United States government on these matters. Among those who responded to the tweet was Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. She said, "Many thanks for your clarification, much appreciated." Vaz and his wife Anne-Marie, both members of Parliament, MPs, recently lost their U.S. visas, along with Philip Paulwell, Vice President of the opposition People's National Party, PNP. At the time, it was said that a number of police personnel and a few prominent business persons had also reportedly lost their U.S. visas. Timeline worries for PNP. Knowing fully well how an election fever could quickly go cold, several electoral hopefuls expected to run on the People's National Party's PNP ticket at the next polls have been uneasy with the party's aggressive New Year campaign. Yesterday, the PNP had its final session of a retreat for candidates and managers at the University of the West Indies, where, inter alia, they were let in on the party's election strategy, new laws governing campaign financing, and also given a peek into the policies that will constitute the party's manifesto. However, when the views were canvassed on the possible timelines for the general election, several of the candidates expressed concern about the party's pace. Up to this point, I am not sure which date or period the election is going to be called. The JLP is very foxy, and you have to be watching them closely. As a party, we cannot be caught flat-footed. But at the same time, I don't know if we should be making such an aggressive push at this time, a long-time PNP member of parliament said yesterday. As soon as the PNP push out, people expect money to flow and so on. and we are not there as yet. So if we push out too hard too early, we are just setting up ourselves, and I wanted that at least to be touched on at our meeting today. You did not want to be identified, fearing that your statement could be misconstrued as divisive. Other likely candidates who attended the retreat were also apprehensive about the vigorous nature of the party's election preparedness. Plan, yes, but to me, it seems as if we are not getting the timing too right, given what we have seen so far. They say they are preparing for March or April, but I don't see it, another high-ranking member of the party said. General Secretary of the PMP, Julian Robinson, refused to declare the prospective timeline of the PMP election watchers, but did give insight into the party's guessing game. We have different scenarios that we're working with. February 25 will mark the 4 years. You look at different points in a life cycle, said Robinson, citing budget and voter enumeration schedules among the factors at play. That is why we chose an early date in January to have the retreat, to get everybody in the frame of mind that you're moving gears. It's like running a long-distance race. You don't start sprinting yet, but you get into a different level of preparation closer to the time, argued Robinson, as he defended the party's move. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.